welcome to the Science Fiction Rating System with me, Chris Redding, and Sam Draper.
Hello.
And Alex.
Hello.
Do you want me to say your second name? I forgot then whether we keep it official or do we say the first.
It was Sam's thing, wasn't it? He said that it was more professional if we had surnames, but is that proven?
Well, all right then.
Right.
He said my surname.
Yeah, that's what I got confused halfway through. I was like, are we doing this professionally?
I don't mind just being like Beyonce, just having one name. It's fine by me.
Yeah, cool. Let's go with that then.
Okay.
Alex is happy with that.
Yeah, I'm like Sting.
But his second name's out there if you ever want to do some deep dive research.
Oh God, don't. Please don't. No, please don't.
So today we'll be talking mostly about the Jodie Foster film Contact. Oh, there goes a beer. What have we got on?
There was some contact.
Yeah. What have we got going there, Sam?
It's Fallen Brewing Local Motive.
Oh, okay.
It's just cheap in M&S.
Nice.
That's why I've got this.
Yeah, well, that's for sale. Nice advert there. It's cheap in M&S.
Yeah.
They do some good beers, M&S, actually.
They do.
But, okay, so you hadn't seen this before, had you, Alex?
No, never. Never, ever, ever.
Never?
No.
Yeah, so I was a bit jealous of you. And Sam, you've seen this before?
I've seen it, yeah.
Yes. So this is 1997, if you cast your minds back.
Spice Girls were big.
Yeah.
Spice Girls were big. Channel 5 had started, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Heyday.
Yeah. Heyday. And then this film came out, directed by Robert Zemeckis, and it was based on a novel by
Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan.
And his wife, isn't it? Is it his wife?
Carl Sagan wrote the book, but then him and his wife wrote the treatment of the script before the script got written. He died, didn't he, sadly, before this was made.
Yeah. And he, I think, was one of the founder of SETI, or that sort of...
Yeah.
This sort of tells... The first half of this film sort of tells the story of the beginning of SETI, I guess, and the trouble they came up against. So, the film starts with a very epic shot, I think CG, of the Earth, and we pull out. You hear all the radio signals.
Hang on, you think CG? What? It's not going to be real, is it?
Well, as opposed to, like, some sort of mixed media...
Oh, right.
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think they got the probe and they fired it away from Earth.
Yeah.
And then it transmitted the signal back.
What did you catch in that little bit of radio at the start?
I got the Spice Girls, as you mentioned.
Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, is
Got
that?
to put his feet. Yeah.
Oh.
The space shuttle disaster.
Yeah. Kennedy being shot about 10 times. Lots of that, wasn't there?
The theme from Dallas.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We go further and further out past the planets, further out of the solar system. The transmissions are getting earlier and earlier until we pass some more stars and we go to the galaxy, and then it goes silent. And then we go out and out and out until we sort of see the universe, and it's quite an epic little shot.
It's a good shot. I liked it.
It's a very, very bold opening as well to go like so silent for so long, isn't it? It's a good few minutes of it having no sound. It's really good, really effective.
It's good, and as I hadn't seen this, I thought that was a good opening, but now having seen the whole film, I see how much more significant like that opening is. Once you've seen the whole film, it makes a lot more sense why that's the opening. Yeah. Which is, again, is quite a big gambit, because you could just... I was just like, oh, well, that's cool, but I don't really get it, but yeah, that's cool. You know. Yeah,
I guess it explains the basis of the film, but before you know what it's about. So... so you just get that's a big scale shot there. You get an idea of the size of the universe before we even start, and then we see the first annoying kid of the film for Sam, the little girl on the radio, and she's trying to, I don't know what she's trying to do, talk to people on CB radio. CB radios were big, weren't they?
Yeah, lorry drivers, I guess, isn't it? She's talking to. What she says, CP come back, or CK come back, or something.
Yeah, you had all that lingo, didn't you?
Yeah,
all that CB radio lingo.
Yeah. My granddad had one of them, and he was all just into gadgets and stuff anyway. And he had one of them. He used just to radio people. And one time he was like, "Oh, go on, you have a go," and did it. And this person radio back, "Oh, what's your handle?" And I didn't know what to say, so I just said fish tank, because there was a fish tank. So then that was like what was directly in front of you. What was in front of me. So I was like, "Oh yeah, fish tank," and they're like, "Oh, hey, fish tank," like that. Yeah. So I've technically got a CB radio handle.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, lovely.
Bit weird, yeah.
I'm going to go on and impersonate you.
Yeah. You can.
Have you heard of the Young Farmers Club?
I know what the Young Farmers are, yeah.
Because they use CB, don't they?
Oh.
I don't think they do. I think they use text.
They definitely used to.
I doubt they do now.
Yeah, I shouldn't think so. It's probably Skype, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got
We should record this on CB, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We'd have to keep saying
get it.
Come back at the end of everything.
Come back,
Go on Pirate Radio. We get shoved off iTunes. We have to go into Pirate Radio.
That'd be good. We need a boat for that.
So before we know it, we see Jodie Foster, and she's listening to the sky, plugged into a radio satellite dishes, and you get a good feel of the science in this, don't you? It's very
very good science.
It's very like Crichton-esque sort of highfalutin ideas that she bumps into the McConaughey character.
I'd say it's a bit more serious than a Crichton. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, but there's kind of a realism in science, which is quite good. But yeah, it's a little bit more real than
It's drier, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. And, because she slips in, like, stuff where she actually explains, like, the Drake equation about how many and all that sort of stuff. And it gets very political, like, with the guy who's trying to take her funding away.
Oh, I hated that man. Like,
Tom Skerritt.
It's hard. It's not been...
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas, yeah. It's funny to see a film. I totally hated that character. Like, he was an awful, awful person. And, he's just so insidious and so slimy. And then it gets he's bad enough when he's just being a dick, but it gets way, way worse as the film progresses, how annoying
I like how they ramp it up. Yeah.
Oh, they really ramp it up. But
he's always, like, talking over her and stuff. You just want to go and punch him.
Yeah, he's like
definitely.
the archetypal kind of annoying boss at work, isn't he? Like, he just takes all the credit for everyone's... Oh, he's a wanker. Good performance. Really good performance.
Yeah, really good performance.
Yeah. And a lot of the characters which you see who she's working with are based on real people.
Oh, okay.
Like the blind guy is a real guy.
Did you realise in his first scenes that he was blind?
Yeah. Because he was talking to the middle of the room.
Did he ever stick with him, though?
No, he doesn't have a stick.
Because I just thought he was like...
I think.
I never saw the stick till like the very end shots when he's going into the thing. And I just thought he was really odd. And I was like, I wonder what's his problem. And then I realised then... I don't think you do see his stick.
No, I don't think he has a stick in the first few
when
scenes.
she comes in the room and he goes over to her, she goes over to him and like holds his arm. Did you think that was weird?
I just thought he was like... he looked like an acid casualty to me or something. Like he had like a crazy... like
or the way he kept smelling people as well. Do you not think that was a bit strange?
I just thought it was really fucking weird, yeah.
I bet it's hard to act as a blind person.
He's a good actor, isn't he, that bloke?
Oh, he is good, that guy.
Yeah, he's in shitloads of stuff, isn't he, that guy? Yeah, so you get a real feel of like all the politics. They get kicked off this Arecibo Observatory. And we see the little montage, which is one of the best shots. Like it's always recited in cinematography as one of the best shots of when she's running for the medicine with her dad.
Oh, yeah,
and it's in the mirror.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that is a good shot.
I also like it's a bit later on, isn't it? But they sort of parallel that, don't we? The shot of her running through to the when the signal comes through.
Yes,
and she runs through the doors into the observatory, doesn't she? And it's like a callback to that, isn't it?
Follows her up the steps.
Really nice shot as well of that, and then you get to the reflection of the dish turning, don't you?
Yeah,
well, that was a nice bit of visual imagery, poetry going there.
It's all there. It's all there.
I thought
you get a good backstory. Go on.
I was just going to say because you get the other person from Alien. What's his face is in it, isn't he? As Hadar, the kind of eccentric billionaire.
John Hurt. We're not there yet. But,
I thought we were at the funding bit. Yeah.
So she has to go around and pitch the idea to various people. She drops in there casually, mission to Mars. I don't know whether it's an alternative universe where there's been a mission to Mars, or she might be referring to like a robot mission to Mars.
Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Yeah, that's a bit weird. Maybe it's not set in the future though, is it? This, or is it supposed to be?
Well, because it starts off with Bill Clinton, right?
Yeah.
It's Bill Clinton, and also if it's taken 26 years to go somewhere and 26 years to come back, it's sort of set in the time it is in the 90s.
Yeah.
But
you're right. She implies
at the end there's a weird like jump jet thing which lands on the ship.
Yeah, I thought that didn't look like a real thing, did it?
Yeah. So that was strange. But they might have developed some technologies from what they found. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, so that whole bit where she discovers the signal, that little sequence, I think, is really doing quite well and exciting. It's done in obviously most UFO type movies.
It's done well, except for I don't like the it's not local. Whatever he says that.
Yeah, that guy's brilliant.
Yeah,
like the annoying.
You always have to have like some pizza eating guy
it's
in
a 90s
in
trope
the,
in it, definitely.
Yeah, in the computer room.
He's annoying.
It's good the way it bounces between like that happening and McConaughey being on TV and stuff as like showing that he's all powerful now as well. Like he's God's diplomat, isn't it? That book, whatever or they call him that, don't they?
Yeah.
He's that working for the president. It's quite a good little matching of him talking about religion and stuff, and then her getting that signal.
Yeah, it's a really satisfyingly directed film, isn't it? Like those sorts of things where they're not in your face, but they're not subtle enough that you'd get them quite obviously what they're going for with shots like that. And I think it's really satisfying to watch. I think.
Yeah, and it's 30 odd minutes before they even get the signal, which is odd because it's called contact, so you know they're going to get it. It's quite it's quite a bold move to wait that long. A lot of setup. But it's worth it. It pays off, I think. I think it's all good.
They have to cover all the base sort of high-level ideas, though, don't they, with the religion and the...
And develop the characters. I think it would be a lesser film if she was more... If everyone was a cliche, it would be a lesser film. You need them to be well-rounded characters for the payoffs at the end and stuff.
Definitely, without a doubt, if this film was made now, it would start with her hearing the signal, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You wouldn't get that lovely, nice, slow build-up.
No.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of similar stuff with Arrival, don't they?
Oh, yeah, man. Rival ripped this pretty badly, didn't it? Like, and I hadn't seen that either, so I'm like, it's even more shocking to me now because I'm like, well, they took quite a lot of this from Arrival, yeah.
But I thought the actual basics of like them, it's quite realistic how the science is there, and I think for like a layperson, I think it's quite well rendered. I'm not sure people sit there actually with headphones on listening to the sky because there's just too much data, isn't there?
But they make a kind of joke of that, don't they? Like, isn't it because the blind guy does, and that he's all like, oh, you're one of the few that still does that. Like everyone else is using the computer, so they do kind of point out.
But maybe in the 80s when SETI was starting, they kind of did probably because they were literally. I think they were literally like just renting time on satellites like that.
Yeah.
So where now it's like all crowd-funded, processed.
Oh
stuff.
it's using other people's computers and stuff, isn't it?
Set
go
at
on
home, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Galaxy Zoo, you can systematically they give you like images to look at, and you have to like put them into different categories of galaxies.
That's cool.
I ran SETI at home for years. That was my screensaver. You know, the big it's like a multicolored grid, and you'd it would like give you a block and work through that block. It's really good. Yeah.
It's quite clever.
Yeah.
Okay, quiz time.
Ooh. Quiz.
Okay then. So as of the 1st of August 2018, so yesterday,
right,
how many extraterrestrial planets have we discovered? Like outside of our solar system, I should say.
Discovered, like, you mean, like given a name?
Like how many have we catalogued?
We know are out there, right? Okay.
Yeah.
With extraterrestrials on, as it were.
No.
Like that would have life for that. I mean,
that's none.
No,
life?
just planets.
Oh,
the planets around other stars.
Oh my god.
How many do we know?
Who's going
I can
first?
give you a clue.
Go on then.
There's we've of them planets have been discovered, that an X number of planets have been discovered around 2,853 systems. Right?
8,000.
No,
okay.
2,853. Yeah. 2,800 systems, so stars. There's an X number of planets that we've found. So who wants to go first? So we just have the closest on
12,000.
That's your answer.
I'm going to say 6,000.
Okay, cool. The answer is 3,815. So Alex takes that one.
That's less than you think, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that is less.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you look at the stats, until about 2014, we'd found about 100.
Yeah.
And then in the last 4 years, it's gone up exponentially on a curve because we've found a new way of directly seeing the light drop off when a planet goes in front of a star. Our systems have been so finely tuned that we can see that drop off in light.
It's just mental. You think isn't there 100 and something billion stars in the Milky Way?
Well, that's a later question. We'll get to that.
Okay, sorry. It's a very small amount of space we've got covered.
Yeah. Yeah, this is only within our local neighbourhood.
Yeah, it's
we're
mental.
talking here.
Mental.
Yeah. Okay, then. So then we get... So she gets the money from the mysterious John Hurt.
Yeah.
They go through all that. They discover the signal, and then the military come in.
Yeah.
And then we get that absolute zinger of a scene where they discover there's a swastika
Brilliant
image.
Yeah.
Best scene in the film.
Yeah, it's very good. Very, very
yeah.
good. And not again, a lot of that's the science, isn't it? That's all just a pure scientific. There's a complete explanation to why it's that, because it was a stronger signal. But a lot of other films wouldn't have been brave enough to do that, because they'd be like,
Totally.
"Oh, we can't do that because it's Nazis. It better be something."
It's played
else.
so well as well. The way they let you work it out, and then they cut to James Woods.
Yeah.
What is this? So what is going on here? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't go, "Oh my God."
Yeah. They're just like, what?
That is Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I also like as well that she makes the point, because when they all go crazy that she's published the findings and James Woods sweeps in and you've broken national security and stuff, and she's like, but it's a message for the planet, it's not a message for America. And again, a lot of films wouldn't have said that. There's so many films we've watched where it's like, it's something attacking the world, but we're only really looking at America. Even Arrival, although they mention those other countries, but she's at least having the balls to say, well, look, you can't do anything.
And also the scientific community relies on that sort of working together, right?
Yeah. It'd be useless if they didn't. Yeah. No, I like that. I thought, again, that's more realistic, but not for the sake of the story. It's still the story's still there.
The new radio telescopes actually rely on them being linked together within a system, so you can get a satellite in South Africa and one in America, and then when they're linked together, it means you've got to dish the radius of the Atlantic. So they're actually physically linked up now. It's not like they're working separately.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so round 2 of the quiz I've got here, because it sort of links in with this bit of the film, is... So, say we've only been mucking around with radios for about 100 years, right? So how many systems do you think... So imagine that signal has gone out in a radius around the Earth, out. How many systems do you think that is come into contact with in 100 years?
Jesus. Is Alex go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
No idea.
700.
Okay.
I'm going to say 80,000. Long time, 100 years.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's 512. Remember, it's only a radius of 100 light.
Yeah.
It's only 100 light years in a circle around the Earth. Remember, it's literally still a speck.
And then
within the galaxy. Well, no, it's going out. It's going out, but obviously,
that's how far it's got. Sorry, yes,
yes, yeah,
of course.
Okay, so Alex.
So will
is
that wave go
storming
forever?
Well, because it goes out and is spread over 3 dimensions as it spreads out, it loses power exponentially.
Yeah.
Hence the Nazis going so far and so long.
Yeah, which I doubt that would even be strong enough. But okay. Okay, then we get that little speech there from Bill Clinton, which, remember that he actually made that speech when they thought they found that worm on Mars.
Yeah.
And then they've edited it into the film.
And he was not happy.
No. Wasn't that massively controversial, that?
Yeah, they didn't after the film came out, he was like, well, this isn't on. And Zemeckis said that they definitely had spoke to someone at the White House about it, but Clinton was really not happy with the fact I think he would have been okay with it if they just asked him about it. He didn't like. He just wanted the money. Yeah,
I read they were gonna have Sidney Poitier as the president, which would have been pretty cool. But I think this works really It's weird that they pissed him off, but it heightens the realism a millionfold, and it's quite well put together, isn't it? They really look like they're there.
It's good that they do it more than once as well, because you have the scene where he does that whole speech, but then he keeps popping up again, doesn't he, occasionally?
Yeah, he walked in a room,
yeah. And it's good they go with it, yeah.
It's really good matching because they show him on the screen.
Yeah.
And then they show the reverse of him coming off the stage. It's quite cleverly done.
And also the way that Angela Bassett kind of comes on afterwards to field the questions, which again is very realistic.
Yes, and makes it, and puts the specifics in where he'd been really non-specific.
Just in case you thought he was talking about a world on Mars, I'm here just to make you sure that that's definitely not what he was talking about.
And then you get the massive international influx of all the UFO people. So she's driving through that camp
that's pretty cool.
where there's just tons of shit going on, kind of like Independence Day when that happens. Remember that?
Yeah.
Including Creeper. What's his name? Not Gary Busey, is it?
Jake Busey.
What's his name? Jake Busey.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Don't you think Jake Busey's a star?
What a face.
Yeah. Yes.
It shows you why Starship Troopers was quite controversial casting, because he isn't evil in Starship Troopers, but in everything else he's pretty much evil, isn't he? Sorry, spoilers for Contact. But isn't he?
Well, he has just got that face, unfortunately, hasn't he? So
an evil face.
It's a shame. Shame for him.
Yeah.
He's doing all right with it.
Yeah, he's just got that crazy eyes sort of shit he got off his dad.
Yeah.
But all the news reports I thought were quite good and realistic.
Yeah.
In this bit, you see a lot of this in this sort of trope of film, but I think they were quite well done on this.
And it's good to have they have extremist Christians, they have kind of New Agers, they have a bit of everything. Yeah. It's not going down one obvious political line. It's quite balanced in its.
You get your hippies, you get your Nazis.
Yeah, everyone's welcome.
Everyone to come out, which is probably like a good interpretation of the the cross section of America.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd go public that fastly though? They wouldn't, would they?
Doesn't.
Well, I was thinking if it is an international project to find it, I think it would go public.
Or does she,
especially nowadays,
does she
with the
leak
internet.
it by does she do it by mistake kind of thing? Is it her just saying, "Oh, I found this," before she contacts anyone?
Well, this is all linked into the John Hurt character, isn't it? Because he's kind of all over this all the way through, and you never know what where his fingers are, what pies he's.
Is he an alien?
Is he an alien?
Well, but I think that again.
He is in Alien.
He's in Alien. He's in Alien. In Alien.
An alien is in him in Alien.
Yeah. That for me again, watching it the first time, I think that was again. We'll get to more of it in the end, but I just thought that character was brilliantly done, because in the 2 big scenes he's in, or 3 big scenes, I just kept thinking, there's something really creepy about this bloke. Why do I feel like there's something going on with this guy? And it's something, because he seemed really positive and he helps her out, and he's a bit weird, but he's kind of eccentric weird. But there's something about the way it's shot, or how he looks, or his performance that it's almost very Faustian, the kind of, deal with the devil, just when you need me, I'm going to swoop in and give you this bit of information. Yeah. And obviously,
and his voice just adds to it.
Yeah, and obviously the payoff at the end, which we'll get to, but that. Yeah. But again, for never seeing that, never seen the film before, that kind of these little seeds, I just kept thinking, why are they making him a baddie? He's not a baddie. He seems like a really good bloke. What's going on? This is really weird. But I think
I think they're completely necessary, and the worst thing about the film.
Oh, really?
I think it'd be a much better film without John Hurt. I don't think you need John Hurt.
I really liked him. I thought he was brilliant.
I think the idea that he's got all his eggs in this one. He's that powerful and all important, and he's that obsessed with Jodie Foster. If he was that powerful and all important, he wouldn't need her. You'd have teams of people doing this sort of stuff. And I just didn't really buy it.
I still think this is early days, where now you would have teams of people doing it, but this is kind of early days of SETI. It's they got their jackpot early on.
But there wasn't a John Hurt in real life, was there? And it just doesn't.
They're saying it's he's supposed to be Bill Gates, isn't he? Really, an evil a weird Bill Gates.
Yeah. I just didn't really buy it. And also, I
think he's more realistic now with people like Elon Musk and stuff like that. There are more realistic people like this now.
Yeah, but not like living in a jet plane and having that weird weird
I think it's only one step ahead, isn't it?
Hey, do you know what?
You had what's his face from Apple? He was.
Do you want to hear an interesting fact about Jeff Bezos of Amazon I heard today?
What?
Jeff Bezos would need to spend $28 million a day to stop becoming more profitable than he is.
What, just to stay
to
still?
stay still in terms of money. They have to be spending $28 million a day.
That's nuts.
Okay.
That's crazy. How many charities could he give to?
This world is a mess.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
It is, isn't it?
Okay then, so round 3.
On that depressing note.
Sorry, yeah. Move on.
So, to the closest billion, how many billion stars do you think there are in the Milky Way?
180 billion.
I'll say 90 billion.
Okay. Well, it's gone a bit wrong here because actually I got a range and it was 100 to 400, and Sam's actually within that range, so I'm going to give it to him.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, 2 to 1. So then, for some reason, the scientists don't figure out it's a 3D map that these things go together, which is completely stupid. Because it even shows them like they've got it on a whiteboard, and she even like connects it on one side and then spins it around and connects it on the other.
Yeah.
And they're like, it connects there and it connects there. So why don't they?
Yeah, that is a bit silly, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. But then she gets a fax through, and then John Hurt tells her about it. That scene's quite good, I think.
I like John Hurt. I know you're not. I know you weren't a fan, Sam, but I liked him.
What do you think about him, Chris? Do you like that role?
Yeah, I think he's great. Yeah. And then before you know it, McConaughey's back. It's the reconnaissance, and he's spouting more but BS. And they decide to make the machine, and the machine costs.
He's spouting a very specific, like, important BS for the plot, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is. Yeah,
which is this idea that.
But I'm not sure they'd have that sort of, I'm not sure they'd have the equivalent of that person in the White House nowadays.
At the moment they would. God.
No, what they'd actually have like a bishop who's like even more.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good idea, the fact that like he'd got because his whole thing, people have not seen it, is he doesn't like this all going on because it sort of it's possible negation for the existence of God, isn't it? Basically,
he doesn't think science has made anyone happy. He thinks religion makes you happy. Science doesn't really make you happy.
Basically, and he's got the president's ear, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which, it seems a very realistic thing to me. And I think it's a good wrinkle to put into. You don't need that in the story, do you? But it's a good wrinkle to have it in there. You know, it's good to add that in. I think.
Yeah, I think he'd most likely be literally like a
preacher,
a Catholic. Yeah. He'd be a Catholic, or like he wouldn't be like just some artsy fartsy
trendy
theologian.
Yeah.
And then so they decided to make the machine. How much do they spend on the machine?
Oh, it's a lot.
3 trillion?
Yeah.
Is it trillion?
A third of a trillion.
I love that.
Right?
I love that bit when James Woods is like.
I love it today. Apple was valued at $1 trillion.
I like that bit when James Woods is like, oh, maybe it's just a doomsday device, and they send it. The aliens send it to people, and then the planets build it and then blow themselves up. But like that's actually quite a good plot for a science fiction film. That they just send these schematics, they make it, and then they blow themselves up. I think that'd be a brilliant idea.
Stargate had just come out, hadn't it? So I guess James Woods has watched Stargate. He's thinking, I know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a good idea. So that's all quite good. We see the machine. We see Boosie's back.
Oh, they have the thing first, don't they? They have the committee to decide who goes in the machine. Oh
yeah, committee. So she's in the running to be in the machine.
Fucking drummer.
Then there's that whole sort of panel situation where she gets stitched up.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Damn you, Drumlin. Oh, with his little...
Drumlin,
do it for God. Oh, I'll be there
Stitches
for God and country. You lying piece of shit. He's lying.
Yeah.
I like that set.
I think I would have just stabbed him.
I thought that was really
I think I would have just stabbed him and then go, well, you can't go now.
That's not how your chances it. You stab someone at the hearing. Jump over the desk and stab someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really...
Well, she wasn't going anyway.
That was good, that bit. That whole... I mean, again, I kind of believe that. I don't know if I believe that they would want someone who's a Christian, but I guess like that really weirdly posh English man's like, well, 95% of the planet believes in a deity, so are you saying they're stupid? Like,
is that true? Is that still true? I
think it must be, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, like 40% of Americans think that the Earth's like 1,000 years old or something, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess.
Mental.
It's a good, and again I thought it was good how there's an astronaut that he bows out because he would obviously be the person that you would send because you'd send because that was one thing I did think was a bit silly was
I'd have sent a poet.
Good one, Chris. Yeah, I did think that Drumlin physically he's too old and out of shape. Surely you need someone in their physical prime.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he wouldn't be.
That he wouldn't be allowed. He wouldn't even get through the 0G tests and stuff, would he? I thought.
No.
So I thought that was a bit silly. But
have you? There's a great book by Norman Mailer. I can't remember what it's called. It's basically about when they're going to the moon. He wrote like a book about. He hung around the astronauts on the training through that, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
What's that book called? It's really good anyway. And yeah, the stuff they go through, there's absolutely no chance that old dude would have made it past a week. It was like intense. And that's in the 60s.
I think the thinking was that this machine's so advanced that it actually wouldn't be any strain on the person in it.
Yeah, maybe.
Hence that bit where the seat like snaps off.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Boosie fucks the whole thing up, blows the machine up.
Yeah.
That's quite a good sequence.
I like that. That was good.
He goes all suicide bomber on it.
Yeah.
And then
hang on. So if we got to that point, I like how even that last bit of him like going to the test flight, Dallas is still being a twat, not going like he's preening to the camera. Yeah, he's doing it for the camera.
He's
they double down it all the way through.
I can feel some vibrations up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
it would be very tempting to redeem him, wouldn't it, in that bit? But they don't at all. It's fantastic.
No, he's a twat and then he dies. It's as much as it's I think I was kind of happy he was gone, to be honest. He's just an awful.
It always happens to people who behave like that. They always get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah.
So it all blows up, all goes to shit, and then John Hurt's back and
in space
tells her they've got another one, and he's in space station, isn't he?
On the Mir space station,
yeah. Which dates it as well. Which is what I don't understand with all of this is how do they build something like that and not know how it works?
Oh yeah. Well, not have any instructions, kind of thing.
Well, they've got the instructions.
Yeah, they've put it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
like they're putting it together, aren't they? Yeah. So you're gonna glean something from it, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, like when they put the door on in it, like the seal disappears, that type of stuff. Like, how the fuck what's going on?
But I guess they don't know what's going to happen in the middle. That's the thing, isn't it? They know that those rings will spin round, that the ball will drop, but they don't know what will be going on in the middle of the machine.
And there's like 2 rockets that turn one of the rings, which is that's strange considering that's come from me. Aliens have sent us that.
Yeah.
And the chair's human shaped.
Yeah.
Well, we added the chair.
Oh, right, okay. I'll let him off that.
Remember? Because if she wouldn't have had the chair, she'd have been fine because she'd have just been floated in this.
Oh right, yes,
true.
In this lovely space.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
the Japanese
basically,
are making it, aren't they?
The Japanese are making it. She goes to more sort of high tech version of the launch site. It's quite cool, that bit actually.
Yeah.
And that sequence where you just get like that, the sound of it is very much like the actual signal sound, isn't it? That sort of and you just see the thumping of it. It's quite
it's
cool.
It's a bit
it's
weird
very,
how everyone turns up. Like McConaughey turns up, and the blind guy turns up. And the black guy who is running the one in America is somehow running this one.
Yeah,
it's a bit weird, but it's cool. But it's a bit weird.
And also how the Japanese who built it are like sort of just like slave people in the background, just moving stuff around and bowing to people.
Yeah,
it's
actually that's a bit. Yeah, they would have their own scientists, surely. Like
they got all the technology for.
Yeah, but so why isn't the Japanese person going on?
Yeah, why have they agreed to?
That was covered in the story. They gave up their candidacy to get all the technology rights.
Of course, yes.
And to make like trillions of pounds probably with what they can do.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah. It's all been covered.
I know, they've got one. Yeah.
So then they decide to do this second jump in the middle of a thunderstorm, which is interesting because they don't know what factors that would add to it. Yeah. So that's all cool.
And just chilling out on a ship.
Oh yeah,
quite nearby.
Yeah. So and then she actually goes on a little ride through time and space, and So this, for me, is where it gets a bit shit, because the music goes very sentimental.
Yeah.
It gets very...
There's one bit of this I like, when she pops out and you see the alien city from above.
Good, yeah.
Like the sky shot of the lights.
Yeah.
I like that.
She goes there alive and then goes back into the wormhole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's all that bullshit where she's on a beach and she meets her dad. The aliens form into the shape of her dad and talk to her and all that.
Yeah, what is the whole thing about this alien thing, right? They're saying, this is how we do it. We make first contact, and then we go back.
Yeah.
And no one's going to believe you. What's the point of even talking to her?
But no, but aren't they? They want to know that humanity can make the machine. Surely that shows that humanity is advanced enough to make it. So they're going to bother with us, kind of thing.
But then why bother just creating the dad character and having this conversation with her when you've given no support to go back to prove anything?
We could say this is mirroring what most religious stories are like, aren't they?
See, this is what... Yeah, see, when as watching it fresh, they do that jump bit and ask kind of like, oh, yeah, 2001, yeah, okay, whatever. And, like, I like the bit when her face is going all weird and then she turns into a younger version and all that, and it was all right. And the bit, as Chris referenced, the bit when she's like, oh, I should have sent a poet, I thought that was a very good line. I like that.
Yeah.
And then the beach bit, I was like, oh, this is a bit bullshit. Like, come on now. Like, that's a bit naff. But what happens after this, then I thought, oh, actually, what they showed you was genius, because I thought it looked like a load of silly bullshit. And in fact, when she tells people, they think it's a load of silly bullshit. And if it had been more realistic or more, I don't know, abstract maybe, it wouldn't have sounded less realistic. It's because it's so saccharine and kind of cheesy, that they actually think it's more likely to be a hallucination than it was real. So I think actually it's kind of clever.
She can't really tell them any specifics, can she? Because it's kind of like, I just saw my dad there.
Yeah, on a beach in the night time. Yeah.
But what are the aliens getting out of that, though?
Well, this is it, isn't it? It's
like, why send her back? Why bother with the... I don't know how that's furthering their cause. Okay, they know that we're all right. Yeah. Well, we know that they're just like jokesters, really. Like, just like making out to... The one human they've met, they made it look like a fool.
Well, maybe...
And would we not continue to use the machine? Like, literally, if it seems like it didn't work, would we not just like send like hundreds of people through and they all come back with a similar story?
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that as well. Why? Because they never mention it like being irreparably broken or something, do they? At the end, there's no like.
Do you think? Are you maybe supposed to think that they, like as Chris said, they're the kind of, again we'll get to it, but the parallels between religion. And at the end, she leaves, where you see all the people in the blue that support her. Are they maybe even making her into like a kind of apostle for a science religion, as it were?
Yeah, she'd be like a prophet.
Yeah, of a new religion, which is believing in aliens, a science-based religion. Maybe there's like a bigger, they want...
Again, it just seems like a lot of interference and risk for aliens who are basically saying, we don't want to interfere yet.
Well, they could just write hello on the moon, right? But that's what you could say. That's what people have been saying.
But no, but they don't want to do that. Their whole thing about them doing it in this like very non-contact way is they're saying, okay, now we know you're there and we'll get to you eventually, isn't it? This idea that you're not ready yet. So I just think they've just missed a trick by sending her back. And like you might start some crazy religion. She might have gone back and like, anything could happen, couldn't it? They don't know. It just seems like a bit of a...
Do you think it's like... Do you think almost it's a bit like the Nazi thing in that they just sent a message out and they almost kind of forgot they did it, and then they're like, oh shit, someone's built a machine, oh Terry, you better go and talk to her on that beach.
But then they're going to get spammed by hundreds of humans using it, aren't they?
That
we're not going to spend like all that money on the machine and just use it once.
Ah shit, we forgot we sent a mission to Earth. Oh god, we told them to build a machine, didn't we? Oh, someone better go and meet her. Maybe that's it.
But then they're gonna have to blow it up because we're just gonna spam them until the machine wears out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Tell us some secrets. No. Next person through.
Well, they do say, don't they, that it's very un-Prometheus. They do say that they don't know who made the machine. It wasn't them that made the machine. Someone made the machine before them. It was around billions of years more than them. But we're not.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
But we're not alone, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, so it's kind of an ambiguous ending because we don't know whether it was all a con.
Yeah, because she was only gone for 6 seconds or whatever it was, wasn't she?
Yeah, they just passed straight through. But a headset had 8 hours of static on or something, didn't it?
Oh, so it did happen.
Yeah. So.
Do you think that the implication is that John Hurt was an alien?
No, I think the implication is
he was fucking with everyone.
Well, they see that as the easier solution to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
But we know he's not fucking everyone, don't we? Because we know she went to the alien place.
Yeah.
So if he's not fucking everyone, we know he isn't. Is he an alien?
No, but it's one of them things, like, people, just because it's hard to believe, they say someone was fucking with us.
Yeah.
Like, the moon landings are now.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though? Like, we know... What the viewer knows that what really happened, don't we? Because we watched her go to the alien world.
Yes.
Yeah. So, therefore, in that reality, is John Hurt an alien?
He's just, like, super, super rich and has, like, resources all over everything and knows shit that no one else knows.
I think he's an alien. Yeah.
No.
Without him, they wouldn't have made contact.
No.
Exactly. And he was, like, really adamant about it and seemed to know all the answers. Like, no one else could work out that 3D cube.
He should have gone in the machine, because then he could have had, like, a Wayland thing where they asked them to make him immortal.
Yeah.
But I do think the end of this film is one of the cleverest things, because the fact is, she comes back, no one believes her, they hoist her in front of that, like, horrible committee, James Woods is, like, calling her out, like, saying she's a dick and all this, and she's all just, but I believe it just happened, you've got to believe me, and then you just get this kind of very clever kind of...
You're a dick, Jodie!
Yeah.
If she was clever, she should have kept her mouth closed, like they dropped through the machine, and then go for another test the next day.
Yeah, she should have.
And gone through it again.
Yeah, I guess she should have, but I like it.
It's a good hearing. Yeah.
I like that. The twist kind of is that ultimately, as a woman of pure science, she is left trying to convince people of something that she has no evidence to convince them with. And I like that. I think that's quite a brave... Again, it's quite a brave conclusion for a thing that's about science, to kind of say, you know what, sometimes... Because if you did an experiment and you weren't keeping proper records and something happened and you saw it, but you had no other evidence it happened, you would just say to people, but I saw that happen, and now I can't... I'm trying to recreate the same thing. And it is...
Well, that's...
that's...
A similar thing happened with SETI. They had this wow signal, which they couldn't replicate.
Yeah.
And it's actually in the bit where they first get the signal, when they think they've lost it, and they've got all different ways of, like, when they do lose it, of, like, tracking to, like, nearby stars and trying to re-find it and stuff, because they were worried about that happening again.
So it has happened. So we have been contacted, but then we lost it.
Well, they found a signal which can't be explained.
Yeah.
John Hurt.
Yeah, it was John Hurt. Yeah. Well, yeah, so... shall we rate this baby?
Did you like it?
Me?
Either of you?
Who?
I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really good. I thought it was. I think it did a lot of things that it's a lot of stuff I've seen before in films, a little bit before and a lot after. But I think it did it very, very well, and I think it was respectful of religion, and I think as a kind of dialogue about religion and science and their place within the modern world and all that, it was respectful and really interesting without being kind of... It was still a good plot, do you know what I mean? It was a good plot all the way through. I thought everyone was really good in it. Matthew McConaughey was just being him, and Jodie Foster was good. So no, I think, it's far better than Arrival. I thought it was really good. I was impressed.
Yeah.
It's too long, isn't it, though?
I don't think it is. I think it all goes through in a very step-by-step way. I don't think there was any
I thought that
scenes which were too long for.
Yeah,
I
for
thought
me,
it was too long.
About half an hour less procedural would be.
You see, I couldn't work out where I would cut, and I don't know where I would cut.
I'd cut from the start. I don't think you need so much going on with them at the start, like setting it, and I'd cut from the bit when they're doing the tests and get ready and stuff. I don't think it just needs to be a bit tighter. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I think to be honest, every bit of the film could be doing a bit tighter, because the bit when she goes to the thing goes on too long, and the bit at the end goes on too long. It's not. I'm not a deal breaker for me, but I just think shave 20-25 minutes off that and it'd be a better film.
It's like 2 hours 30, 2 hours 40. It's very long.
It's bloody long. Yeah,
it is long.
Let's have a look.
I just think that's the style of the film. I just think it's a little bit more of a thoughtful sci-fi.
Yeah, but I can think without having to sit there for 2.5 hours. I think, Chris. I think you're exactly right, and that's why it's got that running time. Is because that's what they've thought. It's a thinking film. Yeah. We've got to drag this shit out. Just like they went through a phase of making every Marvel film 3 hours, didn't they? And they finally stopped that now. But that was just because they just thought, oh, this is what people expect, isn't it? But I just don't think it needs to be that long. But
no, I think it could be tighter. I came out of the end thinking, wow, that was long, but I enjoyed it. But I couldn't work out why I would cut. But I guess maybe that's where Sam's right in that if a bit of everything is cut, then it's a tighter film. And it's probably a better film. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So, Alex, what do you reckon?
Oh, that's quite hard. I really liked it. 25.
What's that?
Underneath Westworld.
Above the Host.
Above the Host.
Okay.
But maybe higher.
Yeah.
Sam?
I think 24. I think it was better than Westworld, but not as good as anything above that. Chris?
Yeah, I could get with that sort of area. I was going to say slightly higher, but actually...
I thought that, and then I look at the stuff.
What you get, I think I'd be happy with that.
It's in good company around there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it was a good film. I would recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. I managed to stay this long in my life not knowing enough that much about it. Do you know what I mean? Which is good. Yeah. It's good if you don't really know what's going on. Oh, so we've ruined down this podcast, but whatever, go see it. Watch it anyway.
Cool. All right then. And Alex won the quiz.
Oh, is there no more questions? So I just win?
Well, I've got one. I had one little bonus question.
Oh.
But it's pretty lame. It's how close in light years is the closest star? It's called Proxima Centauri.
7.
Sam?
So what was the question? I was doing the list.
How close is the closest star, Proxima Centauri, in light years?
2.
You'll have to do them. I think Sam's closer. It's 4.25.
Well, it's a draw then.
So at the moment, they're watching what was 4.5 years ago, about the Glasgow Commonwealth Games.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Yeah.
It's a good one, guys.
Yeah.
It probably might not be, I don't know. Have you seen about the old water on Mars thing again at the minute? It's quite interesting, isn't it?
The poles, the lakes.
Yeah, there's lakes under the ice.
Wow.
But they think there's so much saline in it and salt that it can't actually support life. But still, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wish there was anything up there to do something with it. I don't know what they'd do, but there's no...
We could drink it.
Really salty water from Mars.
Water.
Hot tub. You could have a hot tub.
Oh, Martian hot tub.
Cue Muppets from space.
Yeah. Cool.
All right then, guys. That was a very successful rating. I think.
Yeah.
We've now got Contact at number 24, just below T2 Judgment Day, and just above Westworld.
Nice.
Good place.
I don't think have we got anything which is similar to this in genre on there at the moment? Maybe
Arrival.
Not Arrival. Have we done Arrival?
Yeah, 32 Arrivals out.
Okay.
One below Muppets from Space. Which is also a bit like this film, isn't it?
I think I would have rated...
Muppets in Space is closer to this movie.
I think I would have rated Arrival lower had I seen Contact before Arrival. I think Arrival would have been lower for me because I'd have just kept saying, wow, this is like Contact. So, done, Arrival.
But unfortunately, it's a completely random system which has real outcomes.
Yeah,
purely scientific.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Great. And Alex is going to fill you in on our contact details.
Do we need to go to the future or the past first to find out what's next week?
Oh, yeah, let's go and see what's happening next week.
What are we doing? Okay, what's happening next week?
Hi, past us. Hope you're enjoying Contact. This works really... Oh, it's not It is Contact, yeah, sorry. Let me do that again.
Don't confuse yourself.
It's fantastic, or it is about to be fantastic. Depends on where this is in the show.
Later on. So yes, good work. We enjoyed it or not, whatever. But for now, what's happening next week? We're watching Dreamscape, the film suggested to us by Alexander, our foreign listener. A film that none of us have seen or even heard of, other than we know that it's written by David Lowery.
Yep.
So, Dennis Quaid, Max von Sydow, Christopher Plummer. Oh, David Patrick Kelly. He's out of Twin Peaks. I love that guy. Kate Capshaw, George Wendt. That's, what's his name off Cheers, isn't it?
Yeah, the fat one.
Yeah, all-star cast in this blatant rip-off of Indiana Jones, it looks like. So, I'm going to read this from Wikipedia because I don't know anything about this film. Alex Gardner is a sidekick who has been using his talent solely for personal gain, which lately consists mainly of gambling and womanising. When he was 19 years old, he was a prime subject of a scientific research project documenting his psychic ability. But in the midst...
Oh, that's the science bit.
In the midst of his study, he disappeared. After running foul of local gangster Sneed, Gardner evades his thugs to... This is just the plot of the whole film.
Yeah.
This is an awful synopsis. Let me just Google a synopsis of Dreamscape.
Short synopsis.
Right, here we go. Selfish teen Alex Gardner is coerced into joining a government project in which psychics like him are trained to enter others' dreams.
Ooh,
this is my like book again. Yeah. What was the film that was this? Paprika, wasn't it? Yeah. He starts learning to use his abilities to do good, but before long, a new official, Bob Blair, seizes control of the project. A writer helps Alex uncover Blair's true motives, which involve assassination via dreams. This is my book.
Oh no, this is your book. Oh no. Oh, what are we going to do? You have to read extracts from your book. Born.
It was, wasn't it? Well, again, like with Paprika, for anyone who's read my book, I've honestly never seen this, and I can't believe how well trodden what I thought was a great idea has turned out to be.
It was a good idea.
There's people buying lots of money off it.
Yeah.
Bastards. Well, this isn't set in Manchester.
Dreamscape, Chris.
Let's watch a trailer to this terrible rip-off
travesty.
Dreamscape. Yeah. I can't believe it. That's like spot on, exactly the same as the...
Jesus Going into another person's dream. You might have to see that to believe it.
He is about to enter a world that no one has ever seen before. The world of your dreams.
I was under the impression we were conducting scientific research here.
You sound as if you don't approve.
I can see you're going to be a real challenge to work with.
Oh, wait a minute, Doctor. I haven't agreed to anything yet.
There's so many of my dreams.
It's not,
It looks insane.
It's not really the best tagline for a film. When you close your eyes, the adventure begins. Because then you wouldn't watch the film.
Kind of like a Star Wars poster, actually. Not Indiana Jones.
This poster, hang on, let me show you
this Blu-ray.
Look at this poster I'm going to put in the chat though now.
Yeah.
Like, that is not advertising that film, is it? That's a different film there.
What the hell?
No, that's not the same film.
Yeah. It just looks like Indiana Jones, but the trailer didn't at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for Dreamscape.
Yeah, I mean, it looks insane. It looks, yeah. I'll have to go back in time and sue them.
Fiction.
It's definitely science fiction.
Okay.
Government experiment, yeah, it sounded.
Yeah, you can't inside someone's head. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thanks, guys. Back to the past. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. There we go. We know.
We're back.
So, email us, sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com, and the website is sciencefictionratingsystem.com, and then Twitter, Instagram, Facebook are all SF Rating System. So they're really easy to find.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a rejig there to bring everything in line with our new branding guidelines.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, and,
anything to add, Sam? Letters, complaints.
There's no letters, but just 2 weeks now until the 100th film, and that's when we start our competition. So just keep tuning in. Remember, it's all about getting more people listening. So tell your friends.
Engagement. Hashtag engagement.
Hashtag engagement. What was the hashtag? Not my Transformers. That was the
hashtag not my Transformers.
Hashtag no animations.
Yeah.
Zero animation. Yeah.
Hashtag except Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag it's complicated.
Yeah. God.
Brilliant. I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right then. Cheerio.
Bye.
See ya.